Other Mercedes station wagons. So I thought it would be fun today to do a discussion on the other Mercedes station wagons that nobody ever talks about. And these wagons are based on the W120, 121, 110, 111, 114, 115, 116, and 126 platforms. And one of the reasons that one of the reasons that I like to talk about these is because they sort of expand people's horizons about what Mercedes are out there. And this is sort of an important thing because many of us just look at the wagons and we go, oh, either 123 or 124 or 210 or whatever. So no, there have been Mercedes wagons out there actually for a long time. So Mercedes first started building a wagon-like vehicle after the war, post-war, on the W187 platform, and this was the 220. The 220 had a 6-cylinder engine, and on the W136 platform, the 170, which was 4 cylinders, gas or diesel. These panel vans were usually made for developing world markets, notably South America, such as Argentina or Brazil or I don't know, South Africa or some other markets that you just don't see you didn't see a lot of luxury cars at the time, but Mercedes-Benz was busy building their industry by cornering the market for trucks and commercial vehicles. Mercedes released their first dedicated wagon option on the W120 and 121 chassis. These were the 180 and the 190. And Mercedes would sell you a wagon with a coach-built body by a company called Benz. And that is not B-E-N-Z, it is B-I-N-Z. Now, what carrosserie Benz did was they kept the doors and they modified the rear doors a little bit, and then they put a window in if one so required. They built a hatch and they built an extension onto the body. They flattened the floor. And some of them were actually made out of wood. It was a very nice design. And they built a full station wagon based on either the 180, the 180D, the 190, the 190D, or supposedly, I haven't seen one yet, on the 219, which was like half of a 190 and half of a 220S. I have not seen a 220S or SE wagon. I don't know if they exist or not. If any of you know about these, please enlighten me. But I do know that Pininfarina did make a one-off station wagon based on the W186 300C. The market for Mercedes commercial vehicles, particularly estates or combis or wagons or whatever you want to call them, expanded with the introduction of the fin car, the fintail. And so on the W110 or 111 chassis, you could order a station wagon or an ambulance. Now, these were called universals, probably because they were universally usable. And they were built by either Benz or IMC or another company whose name I can't remember. Maybe I'll remember it throughout this video. But some of these were actually built in Belgium, and IMC was the predominant supplier, as well as man, I can't remember this other. If you guys remember the name, if some of you who are Mercedes anoraks know the name of the other builder, leave it in the comments. But these wagons were more family friendly. So if you actually wanted one that was kind of like a passenger car for your family and your kids and stuff, you could get one. And they were actually very well designed. They had a dedicated tailgate, and you could get one with any engine in the Mercedes lineup except the M189 from what I understand. But you could even get a 220S or a 230S universal and have all the power of the 2.3 liter M180 engine to drive you along. Now, during the 1960s, the need for wagons increased even more, and so Mercedes again developed wagon variants of the 115 series and 114 series cars, as well as a pickup variant for the Argentinian market. These variants of the 114 and 115 are very rare in the United States. Years ago, I almost bought a 115 station wagon. It was kind of stupid of me to pass on it, to be honest. But I have always had a strong interest in these types of Mercedes because a lot of design traits of the 123 were developed from these wagons. So if you had a 200D or 220D wagon, you could order it with self-leveling rear suspension. If you wanted a flat floor and a utility vehicle or a vehicle with a bench seat, you could get all these options. A lot of them were column shift. They had a full range, again, of engines. You could either get the 2.5 liter M114 engine or the 615 engine or even the 616 engine later on in production. And so these were all built prior to the 123. Now, when the 116 came out, there were people that wanted a stylish S-Class wagon, and a company called Crayford in the UK would build these on a contractual basis. They did not have a factory contract with Mercedes, but they did manage to build a number of these based on the requests of different customers, and they were not all just right-hand drive. A number of these were converted. Some people say 100, some people say 750. I don't think we can ever be sure, but a lot of them were, from what I understand, 450 SEs. Some of them were based on the 450 SELs. Now, lastly, with the 126, there were a few companies that were willing to convert 126s. If you look at the one of the most recent sales by RM Auctions and their online platform, a really nice 560 SEL estate sold for over $100,000. And the builder of this was a company called Caro, C-A-R-O, and they did a fantastic job building this 126 estate. Anyway, if you guys know about any other weird Mercedes variants, or would like to hear more about them, drop us a line in the comments. Please tap the bell for notifications. Like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about this video. And if you're supporting us in Patreon, we thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.